All right, welcome back. We got another binder reveal video here, this time with our Psychic type Pokemon. And we're going to start off with a little bit different card here. We got our Reverse Hollow Clefairy from 2024 to kick it off. The older Clefairy there to the right. And we move into a couple of Zubats before we get to some of my favorite cards from the original base set. That original Abra. Such a beautiful card, some really cool artwork. Just a classic card, and that one's in pretty good shape there. Moving over to the Team Rocket Abra, which is cool artwork, but just not as cool as this one. I like the pose, though. And then we have Sabrina's Abra, which I never really liked. That kind of taking up more of the frame. I don't know. It's weird. Kadabra, though. Base set Kadabra, one of my favorite cards in the original Pokemon card game. Dark Kadabra, not as cool. I like the background better, but the artwork in the original Kadabra is way cooler. Moving on here to some classics here. The Fossil Slowpoke there into the Team Rocket Slowpoke. Really cool arts. And we have a couple of, well, we have one of the newer Slowpokes here from the 2024 set. Slowbro, Fossil card. The Fossils, man, I think some of the best artwork in Pokemon Go is the Fossil set. The Gym Heroes, Sabrina Slowbro, pretty cool. And that original Ghastly, one of the creepiest cards in the base set with the graffiti. Man, it's just, you found yourself in the wrong back alley running into Ghastly. Then you have the first edition here, Fossil Ghastly, pretty cool card. That's a little less menacing Ghastly, if you ask me. The OG Haunter, always pretty cool. Just that pitch black background with Haunter just poking out there. And then I like this one here with the flames, the tongue, kind of the aura around the Haunter. Pretty cool card. Moving over here, we got our base set Drowsy, which, it looks like he's using Confuse Ray with the background there. And then the Team Rocket Drowsy, pretty cool. We have some of the newer, and you'll have to forgive me. If you couldn't tell, I don't have all these sets after like the originals memorized. There's another Drowsy there. Into our only Hypno in the bunch. Then we have a Reverse Hollow Execute and a Reverse Hollow Coughing, which are pretty cool cards. Another Reverse Hollow Coughing. And the Jinx. The OG Jinx card. You just don't see very many Jinxes in these sets anymore, but there's the OG down there. Let's turn the page and see what else we have. I say you don't see many Jinx cards anymore. Well, there's two more. This one's pretty cool. The Togetic, looking pretty sweet. The old Neo, Natu, kind of the cartoon-esque drawing there. I like it. Azumarill, Mischievous, and a couple of Girafagigs, which honestly is one of my favorite Pokemon. I love me a Girafagig. The palindrome, the two ends, it's very interesting. We have some unknowns here. Unfortunately, my unknowns were I found them thrown in a box. They were a little bit beat up. I've straightened them out the best they can. I think in the video they're going to look just fine, but up close, definitely played. But still good to have these guys in the collection. So we have M, U, and I, along with F. Moving back over here, we have a Ralts, Aquila, Mawile, two different Mawiles. That one's not Reverse Hollow, I thought it was. Meditite, Survivor, a couple old school cards. This particular set here, the Survivor, like, if you're just looking at this, it looks like the card is all worn out. That's just the way they came. It throws me off every time I see them. I'm glad they didn't stick with that design for a while. However, I do miss the yellow backgrounds. As you see the yellow Baltoy and Shuffit next to each other, I think the yellow pops a little bit more on the front end of the card. So we got Lunatone, we got Baltoy, we got Shuffit, another Shuffit, a Bayonet, the Trick or Trade version of Bayonet there, into Duskull. Love these ghost Pokemon. Dusclops. This Dusclops is very dark. I like it. It shows up pretty good here in the video, minus me blocking the light there. Chimecho, which is just a weird Pokemon. These are cool, man. These old school Beldums and Matangs. I just noticed the Mischievous there in that Beldum. Pretty cool cards. Wish I had the Metagross. Drifloon. Again, these are my uncommon and common cards. We're going to go over the rares. I've been adding to the rare collection over the past couple of days. So you'll see all that cool stuff that we have. Bunch of Drifloons here. Really like the Reverse Hollow down here. Drifblim Reverse Hollow is pretty cool too. So glad to have both of those. Got the Reverse Hollow Croagunk here. alongside another Kurogunk. And then we've got the couple of versions of Uxie and Azelf. I actually just pulled another Azelf today, so that collection will be growing. Got a Munna, a Woobat, reverse hollow Woobat at that. A Swoobat, reverse hollow. Another Swoobat. Venipede, which pretty cool artwork in this one. And another kind of old school Venipede into Whirlipede. And a Siligif here, which, yes, that is reverse hollow. I thought it was. I got another one of those today, reverse hollow as well. Siligif, old school. We got the Yamask Trubbish, one of my favorites. Don't have a Garbodor, but Trubbish, I love this one. That's like the perfect representation of a Trubbish. And I got the Hisuian Zuora, which I didn't even know existed, which is pretty cool. And I love the artwork on that Gothorito with a heart coming out of it. I don't know, that must be Hypnotic Gaze. Some more Gothita cards. The first one that I showed is much better. Then we got the Gothorita. A couple versions of that. Love this artwork. That's super cool. Like, that just looks like Pokemon to me. Got a Solosis, a Devotion, another Devotion. Don't have the third evolution yet. But then we have an Elgium and a Bahayam. These two, just weird Pokemon, right? Nobody likes those guys, unfortunately, right? Got the Lampent here, which, yes, I have the evolution of Litwick, and just straight into Lampent. Got the reverse hollow Gauntlet there, Florges, a couple of Espers. I love the Yarn. The Yarn Pokemon are so cool. It's like a diorama you'd make back in high school for a project or something. And then like the cartoon Esper, the 3D like old school 3D imagery Esper. I don't know. It's pretty cool. I like the variety we get in these characters. The Meowstic, looking like it was drawn with a magic marker down there. Cool looking card, of course. Slurpuff, dreaming of treats up there in the clouds. And a Skrelp just hanging out in the seaweed. A couple more pages here, and then as you got the little sneak peek there, fighting will be the next video in the segment. But we got some Dedenne cards, 3 of them as a matter of fact. Into Sandygast, which I think is a cool Pokemon. I think it's a really cool Pokemon, actually. The Sinistea Reverse Hollow is cool. I love it amongst the actual teacups. That's a nice touch. A Dreepy, which in this particular set from, what's that? Come on. Focus 2022 is what I'm making out there. Yeah, there it goes. It's a Psychic Pokemon. I do have it in Dragon as well. A couple of versions of Fido. These look so familiar, like so similar to each other. I mean, the HP being different, but at first glance, I almost thought they were the same card. Then we have a Flittle, which is a different Pokemon that I didn't know existed. Into Espartha. I remember when I pulled that card, I couldn't even pronounce it. So the Friddle to Espartha, which is pretty cool to have both of those. We have a Greavard, the Trick or Trade there. We got the Houndstone to wrap it all off. So there is the Psychic type collection. You see underneath, a little sneak preview of what's coming up in the next video there. So we'll go over the fighting type Pokemon. But yeah, there's my collection of Psychic types. Pretty hefty collection. 12 pages, I think that was. 12 or 13, something like that. Pretty cool cards. The reverse hollows in here kind of add some sparkle to it. Interesting artwork. Most of these cards are pretty cool. You know, 1 or 2 I could do without, but you know, you watch these YouTubers and they just fly right through all the common and uncommon cards. They're trying to get to the hits, but man, I think if you take a moment and appreciate some of the artwork on these cards, like this Togetic is beautiful. I mean, look at that. The Jinx, that like almost like chalk Jinx, pretty cool. Pastel-y watercolory over there. You know, like your magic marker. I don't know. Just take a moment to appreciate the cards you get, even if you don't get a big hit in a pack. You know, you're not going to get the big hit every time. And we appreciate some of these old school cards here. Yeah, so stay tuned. Have some other videos coming up, including the Fighting a Binder reveal for the common and uncommon cards coming up next.